Open the meeting up today, Tuesday, May 6th, Board of Supervisors, Shelby County. Call to order. Any conflicts, gentlemen?
None.
The agenda, we are scratching item number 5. Our pipeline liaison, Steve Kenkel, will not be here. He's at a pipeline meeting. Consider approval of minutes from April 22nd. Any changes?
First.
What's that? Oh, gotta approve the agenda first, yes.
Motion to approve as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we can do the minutes from April 22nd.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Claims, guys have a chance to look those over.
Fine to me.
Yep.
Okay,
Motion approved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Chris Frederickson, are you out there?
I am.
Yeah, so
All right, come on up.
Hey,
Busy
Chris.
place. Good morning.
Morning.
Chris.
How is everybody? Good.
Very good.
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm fine.
Hating the weather?
No, love it. Finally, no wind and sunshiny days.
Yeah, no rain, too.
That's right.
No blizzards.
No, hopefully not for many, many months. Okay, just a few things this morning. I'll start off with, I have 2 right-of-way permits to request approval on. The first one is from Mid-American Energy, and it is a new service for our residents at 2140 1100th Street. So all they'll be doing is boring underneath the road and into the property owner's residence. So that one's fairly straightforward. Regional Water is the second one, and it's more or less the same idea. They'll be boring into a residence, and it's just east of the Wildwood and 1200th corner. So no extra landowners affected, anything of the sort. And I have all the necessary paperwork, so if there isn't any questions, like I say, they're very straightforward.
Motion on these together or separate?
You've had them separate in the agenda. Do we need them separate? Okay, Mid-American would be the first one.
Okay, I'll move to approve the right-of-way permit for Mid-American Energy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the Regional Water.
Motion approved.
And I'll second that one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Okay, thank you. Just a few updates. Back to the tires. Last week we went out and pulled tires out from underneath the bridge on F58 west of Tennant. So just kind of for an overview of that, just at that site we pulled out 12 3/4 ton of tires. So if you figure that at the landfill rate, that's $4,095 worth of tires. So to date, we're at just over 23 tons with a cost of $6,906. So this week and today, we are on 58 east of Corley. There is a large pile in a culvert that we're removing, and there's at least, I think there's 2 more piles after that. So we're gonna try and get as many as we can this week and see where we're at. So I expect the total dollar to go up substantially.
Using a hoe and a thumb.
Yeah.
Able to reach them all.
Yeah,
Good.
we did. 58 was a little close, but we did a little work on the banks and got ourselves out in
Good.
the water a little further. So
Good.
it's just been a detriment to
Mhm.
everybody. Costs money and wastes time for us.
I know our county sheriff's working diligently on this.
Yeah, at least I haven't been told of any additional dump sites. So I hope they're
Yeah,
done, and I
good.
hope they get caught.
Yes.
So I just wanted to update a little bit on that. I know it's been a thorn in everybody's side, so we are out. We'll try and get it wrapped up. Otherwise, one excavator is going to 900th Street west of Aspen. There is a drop pipe over there that failed significantly on the outlet side. This pipe blocks off a residence on the west end. Just past them, it turns to dirt. So as far as doing anything significant, we looked into taking the entire structure out, but the main natural gas line also runs right by that area. So what I decided to do, we'll sleeve that culvert. It's something we've done before. And they push a liner in and then it's grouted They use the old as a chase, basically, so we can keep the road open at all times. So we're out there, we're straightening out the outlet end. Once the new pipe is in, everything will be wrapped out, and we're also pouring a collar around the inlet. It's eating around that too, so. That's where we're starting with that one. The bridge crew is still working on the structure on Umbrella. The old bridge is ripped out, ready to go. They need to bed the new pipe, but they're the ones that are down pulling the tires out, so. Which Umbrella's a dirt road, so it may be shut an extra week or so. It depends how the tires go, but sounds like next week dry all week too, hopefully. So if they get out there and can get moving again, it should get wrapped up in pretty good time. Otherwise, we're still blading and rocking where it's necessary as usual. So after the rain, things showed up. So we'll try and get that taken care of at the same time.
All right, very good.
Other than that,
Okay.
that's what I've had.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Todd Valeen, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Todd.
So like Chris said, it's a beautiful week to get out in Shelby County and attend some events. So I'll give you some events to attend. Well, first note for the county is just to let folks know that Elkhorn has a pre-sale pool pass program going on. That's something kind of new for them. And that runs through May 31st, and you can purchase those pool passes online, or you can give them a call at 764-5514. And they also have the old style paper forms at the city clerk's office if you want to stop by and do it that way. And then we actually have a couple of ribbon cuttings and an ambassador visit coming up here. Two of them on Saturday. So Saturday morning at 9 o'clock we'll be at the Mulberry Market here in Harlan to do a ribbon cutting for them. We've been waiting for this, and they're finally ready to go. They had some product lines they were waiting to get loaded up before we did it. And then we're very excited about Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. We'll be out at the old North Course to celebrate their grand reopening. And the clubhouse out there is just gorgeous. The course looks really good. So they'll have a golf tournament in the morning, and then we'll be out there to help them celebrate their grand reopening. And then finally on May 23rd, we'll have an ambassador visit at 9 o'clock in the morning for Milk and Honey to celebrate their 10-year anniversary of being in Shelby County. So yeah, I was kind of surprised they've been open for 10 years, but that's going to be good. And then we're giving a congratulations out to the Lyde Irwin Public Library. They received 100 brand new children's books from the Brownstone Book Fund. And this is a fund that each year, out of each, they'll pick one state and they choose 100 public libraries out of that state and make those donations. So Lyde was lucky enough to get picked this year. And so we're inviting folks to go swing by there and check out that brand new collection of what they have. And then we have a very important presentation coming up. It's going to be on June 4th. It's going to be 6:30 to 8:30 at the Turkelson Center, and it's called Tornado Disaster Lessons Learned. And we've got a really strong panel for this. It's going to be a panel of some of those folks affected, along with some experts in different areas of insurance and things like that to discuss what to look for, and not only things that you should be looking at, but also things you should be, from what we learned last year, things you should be considering that aren't covered, especially if you live in the rural areas when it comes to this, whether it's your own insurance or whether it's FEMA or whatever. So, and then finally, be addressing for businesses how to focus on if something like this happened to you, not only what are you going to do about getting your business back up and running, but how are you going to handle your employees during this whole process. So it should be a really good presentation. And again, that's June 4th from 6:30 to 8:30. And then just a couple of fun things. Friday night, Faye Porter's International Jazz Quartet will be at Milk and Honey. Tickets are $18 pre-sale or $20 at the door, and they'll open the doors at 6 and the show will start at 7:30. And just some reminders now that we're in May, Friday, May 30th is Relay for Life here on the downtown square. And then Sunday, June 1st, will be the log cabin days and I know they've got a really special presentation set up for log cabin days this year. So should be a lot to do in May, and more events are coming on board all the time. So we'll be out and about and running around a lot.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So other than that, that's kind of it from the council.
Legislative copies are done, right?
We're not gonna do it, I know they're still battling with a budget and a couple other things, but we're not going to do one in May. Yeah. So we're done for the year.
Those are good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Geraldine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I handed out our quarterly report, and the gray column is the same period last year. So if you can tell from the totals, we had a really busy quarter this year. A lot of it came from revenue stamps, so sales of property. And then the DNR, that was quite a bit more. That's from renewing boats. This was the year we renewed boats. That happens every 3 years. So that is what that's from. But we really had a good quarter, lots of recordings. So yeah, that was good. As far as the DNR, like I said, we've been busy renewing boats. They expired April 30th, but you can still bring them in and renew them. There's a penalty of $5. That penalty does not assess though until July 1st. But you cannot take your boat on the water if it's not renewed. So if you want to wait till July or before July 1st and you don't get that $5 penalty, but you also cannot take your boat on the water if it's not renewed. So please get the boats in and get those renewed. You can do it by mail or come into the office or however works for you. Hunting, the turkey season ends May 18th. And this is the season for marriages. So in order to apply for a license, you can come in, you need one witness, the couple and one witness. All three need to bring their driver's license or a photo ID of some sort. It's $35 fee. It needs to be in our office 4 days in order for it to be valid. And then someone can come in and pick up the packet that we will have for them. There's no appointment necessary. 8 to 4 is our hours. They need to be in by 4 because we have to get it into the state system before 4:30, so 8 to 4 is the hours. Now, as far as the legislative piece that we had that in to raise recording fees, but there was a lot that went with that also. Unfortunately, it didn't go as well or is not going as well as we planned. A recorder in Dallas County who has only been in office for 2 years had connections in the legislature. Her dad evidently was in at the time Iowa Land Records was created. That was like 20 years ago. Linda Fawn had a part in that and did an Iowa Land Records, and that is the statewide system that has all 99 counties in Iowa upload their documents to Iowa Land Records. Her father was against it at the time, and so she came in before we got our bill in. She got a bill in, and basically what it does, it lets people opt out of the 28E agreement. So some of the larger counties like her county, Dallas County, Boone County, if they opt out of the 28E agreement, then they do not pay their portion to Iowa Land Records, which means the smaller counties have to pick that up. So that's kind of worrisome for us. Their intention was not to have Iowa Land Records, go down the drain, but depending on what happens, how many opt out of the 28E agreement, it could be that, our statewide system, which we are the only one around that has a statewide system. we don't know what's gonna happen with that. The $10 fee is in the bill, and it has gone all the way now to the Senate Ways and Means Committee. We put a couple extra amendments in there. One of them was that if you opt out of the 28E agreement, they want to pay only $1 to Iowa Land Records if they send their records to Iowa Land Records, where the rest of us are paying $3 in order to keep this going. And we want, they also want to do figure out an alert system, or I guess I don't know if you call it an alert system, but where people get notified if something gets recorded on their property. So in order to do that, of course, they need money to have that work.
So it's not an annual fee, it's a transaction fee
Uh,
that cost Shelby County?
It's an annual fee.
Annual fee
Yeah,
of how
and the
much?
ESS, the 28E agreement gets signed by the supervisors if you decide if we're gonna stay within the 28E agreement. So right now, it's in the Ways and Means Committee, so if you could contact Senator Jason Schultz, he's the one that we need to contact to say, please include our amendments that we want. The other 89 recorders, there's like 10 of them that are going with the Dallas County recorder. But we need him to say that, you know, if they could pay, we're just asking them to pay $2 and we're paying $3, you know, just so we can kind of keep Iowa Land Records going.
Mhm.
So,
Can you send us a couple of bullet points on why Iowa Land Records is important for us to have that remain as it is?
absolutely,
So
Absolutely.
if we send them a note, you know, just because, you know, we need to have
Right,
a
right.
reasoning for us.
right, absolutely,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So if you have any other questions about that, you know, you can just contact me, and I can give you some other names to contact if you have any questions on that.
Throw in an eminent domain request for him as well. Send that.
Mhm.
Okay, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is Carolyn out there?
No.
Oh, we do, okay. We have a motion to approve Geraldine's quarterly report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And I don't believe Carolyn is here, so we will skip to supervisors' reports, committee reports.
I have nothing.
A few updates. Attended the Chamber Board meeting April 16th, and they're pleasantly being reminded that they're more visible throughout Shelby County now than they have been in past years, I guess. They attend more functions in our surrounding communities outside of Harlan, and so they're beginning to be recognized as a true countywide entity, so they're very pleased with that. Attended the hazmat tabletop exercise led by Alex Londo and some gentlemen from the state. They did a scenario of a fire and anhydrous explosion in Harlan. There were only 9 people in attendance at that, and I was a little bit disappointed with that. I thought there'd be a bigger crowd for that, but very well done though. I learned a few things. A lot of it centered around the transition from private ambulance service in the city of Harlan no longer having a police force who's being contacted when in different scenarios. So that was a good exercise. Attended the last legislative coffee that they had. Board of Health meeting, April 22nd. There's a group called Firefly Community Advisory Council. They're looking for individuals to serve to help them gather information regarding services like Medicaid, Hawkeye, and healthy pregnancies programs, those kinds of things. If you're interested, you can call 712-828-4271. And they're looking for people who have some experience with those programs. It pays $15 an hour, and there's child care reimbursement available, and it only meets like 5 hours per quarter, so it's not a huge time commitment. But if you've got some experience with those programs, they'd love to hear from you. And also the well plugging assessments, water samples, those things are ramping up with the better weather. Went to Cherokee Mental Health Institute Citizen Advisory Board, which I serve on as part of being supervisor. We have 327 employees up there in Cherokee. They got their pet therapy up and running, and it has rave reviews by both patients and the staff. and they're working on their 50-bed expansion of the sex offenders unit. And then after the meeting, I toured kind of the entire facility and their museum, which is housed down in the basement of that place. There's some unique things to see down there. Long and very interesting history there. And then Penny Anderson's retirement reception was nice.
Yep.
Congratulations to her on her retirement. So that's it for me this time.
Well, I've been working on replacing Penny with Karen, and we found a great candidate. Don't know if we're ready to release a name yet, Karen, but
Yeah, he started yesterday.
Justin Wagner from Woodbine.
I met him this morning.
Good. I haven't met him yet, so, but we expect good things out of him. We're gonna be talking about our new EMS director here shortly. We'll be getting him approved, and we did interviews, a lot of background work behind that, so I think we've got a good one, and really that's about all I've worked on all month, so. All right, we will move on. Did Carolyn show up? Nope, okay. Jenny LaFever, Ambulance Advisory Committee President.
Oh, Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Got some great news to pass on. As you know, we've been looking for a EMS service director, and we're finally able to advertise for that. I believe March 21st it was advertised for at least 10 days. And then we had 3 really good candidates, and we had an interview committee consisting of a panel of 6, which is large, but it was good. And then we decided on Kenny Hansen. He currently lives in Templeton. His wife works here in Harlan. He has a lot of experience as a paramedic, critical care paramedic. So it would be our recommendation from the EMS advisory committee to hire Kenny Hansen. Bryce has done a lot of work negotiating with him and talking to him about it, and we're really excited to get him on board.
And when would he begin?
Hopefully, if you guys approve, he could begin next week.
I would make a motion to approve the hiring of Kenny Hansen as the new EMS director.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Thanks
he
for all your
is.
work on that. It's been a long road.
It was the whole
Get to this
committee.
point, yeah.
the
Thank
whole
you.
committee, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Hopefully we'll get him here next month and introduce him to everybody, but yeah, a very impressive individual, works for Carroll County EMS for quite a while. He's actually a helicopter paramedic. He goes in a helicopter, does paramedicine there, and he's a go-getter, so we're excited to get him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep.
Super.
Thank you.
All right. Any other department heads want to give a report? Come on forward. We need to go up and get Carolyn, or what do you think, Taryn? Morning.
Just to give you a little update, our food drive was a very good success.
Great.
I think we got close to a ton of food. I think,
Wow.
donated. So
Nice.
thank you to the community for their support.
Mhm.
We have, I think 3 applicants for the paramedic position. So we're looking at that, setting up interviews. Call volume's been normal. I think 108 calls last month.
Mhm.
And everything else has been going good.
Great.
That's good.
Yes.
Are you excited to be
Let go of some of the
not
reins?
interim anymore?
Yeah, some of the stress being relieved would be good. But yeah, I'll be
You've done-
around to help out. So
You've done a great job. We really appreciate you stepping up.
Thank you.
We know it's a tough position,
yeah,
so
well, thanks for the opportunity, and
great.
yeah, it's been good.
Good deal. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Any others? All right, we'll see if we can get Carolyn here.
So we got more tons of tires and new food.
Yeah.
Switch that around, have 23 tons of food
Mhm.
and 1 ton of tires to clean
I imagine it's gonna be hard to catch that guy that's dumping the tires.
We've got a pretty good crew over there at Sheriff's Office.
Oh, I know
They've
that.
been working on it, so.
Apparently they're doing it tonight.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Hopefully we get him and turn him over to Marcus.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe we put out the word to the county that Sunday
I think the word's out
the
pretty good.
county farmers see them, turn them in.
It's been in the paper, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Social media's been all over paper, social media. They're talking about it, so hopefully somebody will see something.
Yes. See something, say something.
Yeah. Should go
She's,
slip away or not?
she's coming.
Okay.
Okay.
She said she'd be down a little bit.
All right. Gotten to use that a couple times this spring already.
Yeah, it's been a good addition. It's definitely helped us with situational awareness, and
Yeah.
people who like looking at storms can look at it from their basement instead of
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the front porch.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm trying to spread the word on that. Nobody seems to understand that it's out there yet, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to let people know.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I did one update, a couple updates I do have. I received my check from FEMA yesterday for the 2 towers, so I just signed before I came over here the closeout letter, so I'm officially done from last year's tornado with at least our office.
Awesome.
We're going to be a part of the June meeting that Todd referred to. I'll be kind of coordinating and emceeing that, and then we'll have Jordan up there also to kind of talk about best practices and
Great.
stuff we learned from EMA.
Great.
And then I got a call on Friday of last week that they're wanting to fund our siren project that I've been working on for the last 3 years. And that's gonna add sirens to 2 parks and 1 town, incorporated town that does not have one. Kirkman currently has a truck siren that they set off that it's not the same thing.
Sure,
No.
sure. Yeah. That's
And
great.
then putting one at Prairie Rose and Mission Valley.
Good idea.
Perfect.
That's all I got.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Carolyn.
Yep, ready for me? Okay. I apologize, I couldn't get away until just now. I was
No
with
worries.
customers, so.
No worries.
I mentioned to Taryn I was a little bit short-staffed today, so I wouldn't be able to
Right.
be sitting here. Okay, a couple things. First of all, we'll start off with the tax abatement. This is something that was filed by the city of Harlan, that they've now taken ownership to an abandoned property here in Harlan. I don't know if you still have the email or the documents that I emailed to you, just so that you kind of had a little bit of a heads up so that you could read through the lengthy process of that. But this isn't anything really out of the ordinary. When the city obtains property through the abandonment process through Iowa Code Section 657A.10B. And the decree, as you will see, states that it's free and clear of any claim, lien, or encumbrance held by the defendant, and the clerk is issued, ordered to issue a change of title, placing the title in the city of Harlan. So what that basically means is that they get it free and clear of any taxes that are owing and outstanding taxes. And in this particular situation, there is an outstanding tax sale certificate on it that was put on there last year. So that investor, that tax sale investor, will also get their money back on that. Not any of the interest that they've paid, but just what they've actually paid in taxes. So that's something for you to decide, but I think it's pretty cut and clear. We've done this in the past, that we really don't have a choice in the matter but to abate the taxes unless you want to pursue other actions on that.
When they sell that, and assume they'll sell the property, and then it'll go back on the
It'll go back on the tax
Tax
rolls,
rolls.
yes.
So-
I'm sure the city's in the process of, getting that brought up to date, and we've been receiving, a lot of the times in these situations too, we receive special assessments where like the mowing hasn't been done and the city has to step in and do some mowing and things like that too, so.
Do we have a motion to abate the taxes? What's your description on that?
Yeah.
You have the description? And just
Or
read
the
out
address
loud.
just for folks to.
506 Pine Street.
506 Pine Street. We have a motion to abate the taxes on 506 Pine Street.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and we'll get that taken care of and get the tax sale investor refunded. Couple things, department head report. First of all, I just want to make a public service announcement about the Real ID, because that is something that goes into effect tomorrow through TSA. May 7th is not your last chance to get the Real ID. Just want to make that perfectly clear that it's not your last chance. It is the date, however, when it's being enforced by TSA that you must have it if you're traveling, even within the United States. Also with that, the paper copy cannot be scanned at airports. So if you're coming in tomorrow in a rush and need to hop on a plane, that paper copy is not going to work for you. We've talked about this several times. So if you don't have any trips planned in which you will be flying, there's no immediate urgency. And we will, of course, continue to offer that after the May 7th when they start enforcing that. When you do have, a couple things that the DOT has suggested, when you do have a trip planned, the DOT does recommend that you set up an appointment 2 months prior to your trip to obtain the Real ID. I heard on the TV station the other night that the Ankeny office is booked out to June for getting this. So as of a few statistics, as of April of 2025, 75% of all driver's licenses and IDs are Real ID compliant. The national average is 60%. And data from TSA checkpoints over a 5-month period last year shows approximately 84 to 85% of Iowans traveling domestically already possess a Real ID. Where's Shelby County at in that bracket? There are 13 counties that are 85% or more Real ID compliant, meaning the driver's licenses issued are Real ID compliant. Shelby County sits at 86.59. We've always been in the top 15%. When this was enacted back in 2013, I believe, we started pushing it and encouraging people to get it and explaining the documents that they need to bring in. So thankfully for that, Shelby County, we're sitting pretty good because we are continuing to get a lot of phone calls for people who don't have it, especially scrambling from other counties to come here. In fact, the DOT said that they're breaking transaction volume records across the state with getting this applied.
Do they use that for anything other than international travel?
It's not international, it's just within the United States.
Oh, it's
Yes.
okay.
So
Okay,
if
okay.
a
So
passport-
TSA, anywhere you go flying.
Correct.
or
And any federal buildings, some military bases also require it, different places. I'm sure the list will probably go on.
If you want to go to a federal courthouse or something.
Correct. Of course, Shelby County is county courthouse, so it's not needed to come here. But Social Security Administration, sometimes that's being enforced at Social Security Administration buildings as well. So just encourage everyone to get that.
Even if you don't travel.
Correct, correct. With that being said, I mentioned, a lot of out-of-county. So here last week, when I was doing some end-of-month reports, just want to bring to your attention that from April of '24 to April of '25, our out-of-county fees that we have collected have went up over 86%. So people coming here to Shelby County that don't live or own property here are being assessed a charge. It's a state law that went into effect July of 2023, that they get a $10 charge over and above what the cost of the driver's license is. So that's increased 86%, which means we have a lot of traffic coming through our office, a lot of driver's license issues. In fact, compared last year, April of '24, we issued 253 driver's licenses for that month, and this year we issued 327, so we're up 30% just in that alone in number of issuances. So our staff
The
is
fee remains the same?
correct, no increase in fees other than that out-of-county charge that people are being assessed if they don't live or own property. Just to supplement, what our employees are doing here and the need for the employees here to be able to accommodate that issuance. A couple things about property tax. In May of 2024, we had, I mailed out 794 delinquent parcels. This year, May of 2025, we have 548 delinquent parcels going out, a difference of 246 less. About the only thing that I can say is, like, a lot of the times when people come in and with their delinquent notice, I highly recommend that they sign up for reminder email notices or pay online to set up automatic payments, so that will help them to avoid their interest and charges that they may incur because of that. So we really encourage people to do that. And all of this, when mailing out those delinquent notices, those reminder notices, are part of the process in getting ready for our tax sale, which is held in June. In the motor vehicle department, electronic transactions, meaning ERT transactions, for anyone who buys a used or new vehicle, that can be done electronically. The dealerships send us the paperwork. We're still processing the paperwork here by our staff here in the office. The only difference is we don't have the customer standing right in front of us. So those electronic transactions have increased 40, even just from last month to this month, 41% increase last month to this month. So car dealerships really utilize that feature. So, and it's nice for the customer to, if they can't come in here during our business hours, it's an option for them to get their paperwork processed so that their vehicles are titled timely. And a couple of employee shout outs. Janet in my office will be observing her 13-year anniversary with the county later this month, and Kelsey, our part-time employee, observed her 1-year anniversary here last week.
Great.
Miranda has completed and attended all the training to become a certified drive instructor. So we have someone from the DOT coming out here soon. That's what takes a little while. She's went through all the training in the past few months, but our DOT supervisor from the state will come out and now drive with her with a customer and get her actually certified, get right off. That's the last and final step. She's been doing a lot of drives with Shelby here recently. As always, we're booked out a little ways with the drives and such. They're full for the next few weeks. So so then she'll be able to do car drives on her own and provide the extra assistance with our current drive examiner, Shelly. And now that it's springtime, Shelly will also be offering the motorcycle drive tests as our certified motorcycle examiner. We realize that this is an important element. A lot of people use that for transportation to and from work, cheaper transportation. So those will be getting set up here soon whenever the need arises. We've already had a few inquiries about it, people who are testing for their motorcycle license. So that's in the works as well. All right. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much. Yeah, have a good day.
Anything else? We're adjourned. What's that?
Oh, Carolyn's quarterly.
Okay, we have a motion to approve Carolyn's quarterly report.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we're adjourned. Thank you.
Carol, let us go. Yeah.